What's going on YouTube? Thanks for joining me here on Squad TV Canada. I'm Donnie D, and we're going to talk about how to build some coils today.
Hey, what's going on out there, Squad TV Canada? It's Donnie D. I'm here to tell you there's a contest within this build video. That's right, the Don't Do What Donnie Don't Does contest. Just mention in the comments below the number of times I did something I shouldn't have done. I'm sure there'll be some kind of indication that'll let you know. And you'll be entered in for a 60 mil of Dock Reserve Coney Island. That's right, it's coming right to you. And I'll even toss in a custom build for you. Anyways, have fun everybody, stay cloudy, enjoy the build video, and shots fired.
Little tiny Legos. I'll put a picture up here in the screen so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. But they've got 4 little posts on them, and they just sort of snap together. I'm sure you all know Legos from when you were a kid. Anyways, without further ado, let's head on down to the build mat and I'll show you what tools we're going to be using today. Alright squad, so here are the tools we're going to be using today. We got some ceramic tip tweezers, some really pointy tweezers for our cotton, a screwdriver, a couple coil jigs, some scissors, wire snippers, needle nose pliers, some flat no tooth pliers. That's just for gripping your wire. We're going to be building on the Cosmonaut RDA. Of course, our little Legos right here, 1 and 2. We also are going to be using 28 gauge as the core, so we'll be using 3 of them, and 34 gauge as the fuse on the outside. We'll be using rayon wicks cotton, and of course you're going to need a drill and a bit of a swivel setup. So this situation right here, I got a vise and I got some fishing swivels on there, and works quite well. So. Alright, so let's start by cleaning our work area up here so we can get going. So we're going to start off by cutting our 28 gauge wire. That way we can get them straightened and get them loaded into the drill and ready to be fused. This is an all-time first. I've never used Legos whatsoever. Literally, I'm doing this for you guys right now. Make or break. I guess we'll see what happens. So you want to get 3 pieces of wire. We'll go, 7 or 8 inches or so. So there's 1. There's 2. And then there's 3. Right there. Alright. So to straighten these, I'll do one quick and then I'll straighten the other 2. And half speed, you want to load it into the drill here. Take your needle nose pliers, clamp down on the far end, and spin your drill. So about 3 or 4 seconds or so gets you a nice straight piece of wire. Alright, so we have 3 straight pieces of wire. Now they're slightly different lengths, so we're going to fix that and give them a little snip here near the end. Now we have 3 pieces of wire all in parallel. But if you've tried to do this kind of practice before where you've clapped in multi-core strands of wire together and then you find that they all just kind of collapse on themselves, well hopefully, and what I've heard, is that putting your wire in between some Legos prevents that from happening. I'm going to see if the myth can get busted right here. Or proven. So I guess in theory it clamps down such as this on top of the wire. And as you fuse it, it'll prevent it from overlapping. And then just move it down the wire as you Clapton. We shall see. Okay, so we take our 3 core wires that are nice and straight here, and we're going to attach them to the drill, so right here, and then we're going to attach them to the other end here with the swivel, okay? Once we've got those secured and the wire is nice and straight, then we're going to start putting our Legos on there to hold our core wires in place. So you bend all 3 of your wires outwards like that. 1 wire per jaw of the drill, and you simply just tighten the jaws down. Make sure it's nice and snug. For the final tighten, I tend to bend these leads forward. Give it a nice tighten, boom, just like that. Straighten the little leads out. I take my toothless pliers and I give the wire a little squeeze right at the chuck there. These guys got to start and finish in the proper spot, so we got to make sure these wires are nice and parallel all the way down. So then I take my swivel end here, run my fingers down the wire, make sure they're all straight and even and parallel and not overlapping. I take my swivel end, I simply just put it in the end here and then just bend it around. I have to pull this a little closer. Even tension is the key here, and consistent tension. Okay, and I just fold this around like so. And then once again I take my pliers and squeeze this end nice and flat. Okay, so now you have your wire even tension all the way down from one end to the other. So you take your Legos, at least this is what I'm doing anyways, and I'm going to situate one maybe about an inch away from the start. Clamp it down, you know, not so tight that it's hard to undo, but tight enough that the wires won't shift around. So when you put tension on there, holds everything straight. Essentially these Legos are just going to keep the wire, or help prevent the wire from overlapping as much. It's still going to a little bit. I'm still going to have to start, stop all the way down and give these guys a squeeze. So I'll take my 34 gauge wire right here and attach it to one of these leads. Now the first few wraps aren't going to be anything special. It's just a matter of getting it started. So we can do a little bit of clamping and whatnot just to get the wires nice and straight. So loosely, don't put a whole lot of tension on your spool. You're going to want to put lots of tension on your drill to hold this wire nice and straight. Give it a few spins like that. And then I'm going to clamp this down and squeeze. Make this nice and flat and straight as I can right off the hop. Alright, so as you can see here, I've taken off the Lego pieces and removed it from the swivel and drill. We have about, I'd say, 2/3 of this wire that's usable. It got a little bit of a twist down here that I couldn't quite work out, so from about here to about here should give us a good enough to make a good couple coils. So let's cut this excess off that we don't need. Same with the other end. So if it's like any other Clapton or wire like this, when you start to turn into coils, if you don't crimp the ends, they will unwind and it might wreck the coil, the desired look. Okay, so I take my coil jig. I'm going to go 2.5 millimeters in diameter, and I'm going to wrap towards myself like I usually do. Don't have a lot of wire to work with here, so I'm going to keep my leads nice and short, but enough that I can work with. So we'll go 5 wraps, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll take my toothless pliers, 90-degree bend, give the lead a little snip here. We've got ourselves our first tri-core fused Clapton. Came out beautifully. So we'll make up another one here and load it into our cosmonaut and take her for a vape. So good, squad. These tri-core fused Claptons on the Cosmonaut, tasty treat. You probably saw there I had to apply a little bit of juice to the wick to try to get it in there. That's because the build deck on the Cosmonaut is very shallow. However, the O-rings, on the O-ring I should say, on the bottom is very secure, very minimal leakage if anything at all. Great flavor. I have it wide open at 90 watts. I could probably go a lot higher on this because there's so much wire in that billet. Let's take her from 90 to 100. It's a point, it ohmed out at 0.19 ohms. So here's 100 watts. A little warmer, smooth draw. Put some of this Doc Reserve Coney Island on here. It's a caramel apple, a candied apple. It's quite nice. Tastes really well in here with the rayon wicks. Great flavor. Well, that about does it for me here on Squad TV Canada. I'm Donnie D. Take care of yourselves out there. Stay cloudy. Be safe. Much love, Vape Fam. Please like and subscribe. Definitely want to get our subscribers up. And any comments or questions or concerns, whichever, post them down below in the comments and I will respond back to each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves. Stay cloudy. Shots fired.
All I hear is noise, hearts of false Cool.